The time has come. After 6 long months, we finally got episode 2 of the amazing digital circus. And you all know what that means, another TADC video. In this video, we're going to be taking a couple of characters from the new episode and turning them into Cyberpunk. And this will be another cross-link collab with Dempsey J Illustrations, Night of Arcane, and Nerd Comics Inc. So be sure to check out their videos after this one. And with a quick thank you to Inkman Studios who gave me the idea for this video, let's get into these amazing digital paintings. Let's create some chaos! In this city, nobody is anybody. Everybody is a nobody. That is the rule. The corporation CNA took control of Circuit City by releasing cybernetic augmentations for the citizens. These augmentations, that could be attached to, implanted in, and even completely replace a person's body, were capable of enhancing the user's physical strength, allowing them to access technology with just a touch, and many other features. CNA's augmentations were a massive hit with the city's residents. It was impossible to walk down any given street and not encounter somebody with an enhanced arm or leg, or, in some cases, an entire body. However, things started to take a turn when CNA introduced their True Augmented Digital Coverings, or TADC visors for short, which were full face masks that allowed people to access information, entertainment, or whatever else they wanted while still being able to see and interact with the world around them. Due to these masks, however, almost all sense of individuality was wiped from the streets, as everyone now shared the same sleek, blank face of the mask. Though, there was still some slight variation in the colors of the frames of the TADC visors. Nearly the entire population of Circuit City owned CNA's TADC visors and wore them constantly, having uninterrupted access to the internet and technology at all times. The masks gave them news about current events, traffic updates, and social media, all graciously provided and filtered through CNA. It wasn't long before the city was filled with nondescript citizens, shuffling through their days like zombies. Though all hope seemed lost, that CNA had a complete hold of the city, it was far from over. A small group of resistance fighters who had either resisted or broken free from the TADC visors were working to infiltrate CNA to take it down. Currently, there were 6 members of the group, each with their own cybernetic augmentations and strengths. The newest member was a woman named Lizzie, who went by the codename Jester. Lizzie's arms and legs were replaced with cybernetic ones that allowed her to extend her limbs much further than a normal person could. None of the resistance fighters, or even Lizzie herself, knew who she was or where she came from prior to being a member of the resistance. All they knew is that another member of the group, Amanda, codenamed Ragdoll, found her hiding in an alleyway and recruited her to the fight against CNA. Lizzie wasn't exactly thrilled to be part of the group and tried to get away from them when Amanda first brought her to their hideout, but she ended up lost on the streets and almost killed. After realizing she couldn't survive in Circuit City alone, she decided to stick with these people. This group had been working tirelessly to bring down CNA for years, and have lost and gained many different members. In addition to Amanda and Lizzie, the other 4 current members of the group were Marissa, codenamed Ribbons, Michael, codenamed Jack's Rabbit, Sean, codenamed King, and Ashley, codenamed Breakdown. After only a day as part of the resistance fighters, Amanda informed Lizzie that they might have a way to gain intel on how to infiltrate CNA. Begrudgingly, Lizzie went along with Amanda and the rest of the group, not really caring to help, but not having any other choice. The group mobilized and snuck through the city to meet their informant. They came upon a rather unassuming bar called the Candy Castle, and the 6 of them were escorted inside by guards that were waiting for them. They were led through the main bar and into a back room, where they were met with more guards standing around a woman, posted on a bar stool. She introduced herself simply as Vera, the owner of the Candy Castle bar. Ragdoll stepped forward and complimented her establishment, and the two got into a small conversation that ended in laughter from the both of them. Once the casual conversation died down, Vera was back to business. She told the group that she had information that they were looking for on how to bypass and infiltrate CNA's headquarters, but she wasn't going to just hand over something so valuable. Jack's Rabbit almost lunged at Vera, demanding the information, but Ragdoll held him back. While struggling to restrain Jackrabbit, she asked Vera what she would ask for in return for the information. Vera told them that she had a shipment of supplies that needed to be taken across the city. Normally, she would have her own people do it, but recent events have made their usual route more dangerous, and she wasn't going to take unnecessary risks. Luckily, she caught wind that Ragdoll and her team were looking for information. Information that Vera just so happened to have. Vera took the 6 of them through a secret door that led into a huge garage filled with all different kinds of cars and trucks. Jester wondered how a space this big could be hidden in the back of a bar. They were led to a large tanker towards the back of the garage, and Vera told them where they were to bring the payload. They piled into the truck with Ribbons at the wheel and set off toward the destination. For a little while, the ride went smoothly. The group was able to pull out of the bar's secret garage and onto the main streets without drawing too much attention to themselves. Or so they thought. From miles away, the CEO of CNA was watching them, having been tipped off to the group's actions. He was stationed at a computer, where he typed in a list of commands and hit enter. Back on the street, several citizens wearing TADC visors kneeled over in pain. They were scratching at their heads as if trying to rip the visors off. Jester noticed this in the rear view and asked Ragdoll what was going on. Before Ragdoll could answer though, Jackrabbit chimed in and told her to casually not worry about it, that their job was to deliver the goods, not worry about some nobodies on the street. Unfortunately for him, Jackrabbit would eat those words as a loud bang echoed from the side of the truck and the whole thing jolted to the side. Ribbons frantically turned the wheel and corrected course, while Jackrabbit ordered Jester to see what was going on. Jester poked her head out of the top of the truck and looked around, but nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Then, a hand wrapped around her neck from behind and pulled her out of the truck's cabin completely, tossing her onto the roof. Jackrabbit popped his head up and immediately closed the door when he saw what was happening. Jester mumbled a faint curse that was swallowed by the wind and stood up. In front of her were 3 civilians, all wearing TADC visors, but something was off. Usual blank surfaces of the visors were replaced with glowing eyes and teeth, like a neon sign. The one in front rolled up the sleeves on his green and yellow jacket as his arm opened up and a glowing green whip fell out of the space in between his fingers.
Let's see, who should we have for our cameo? Only 2 really know about the multiverse in our own channel, and kind of break the 4th wall, but Amelia is still pretty new as a narrator, which leaves... Dreamweaver. You called, and hopefully didn't put a claim on KyngPin's channel. Yeah, I need you to... Oh, I already saw the script. You don't need to ask me to do it. Good evening, viewers. This is Dreamweaver, making sure you subscribe to KyngPin Creations for more of their amazing art, stories, and humor. And if you enjoy his humor, I also suggest checking out KyngPin out on boss level, along with the rest of the crew there. Their Monster Prom playthrough almost killed tonight, especially the part when, hey, let's not, spoil the good jokes. That is fair. Also, why did you choose me, while also having a small time-lapse of KyngPin with a fan-designed stand? I thought it would be funnier with you, plus we could do these 4th wall jokes, and this was just the first idea I had for this little art for this cameo. Silver Bullet does look pretty cool at least. Could I also have been chosen because you're venomizing? Hey, let's not spoil anything, and check out the final result of KyngPin and their stand, Silver Bullet, and allow the viewers to continue with KyngPin's art. You literally made the thumbnail be who I was about to say, but oh well. Let the video continue, shall we?
The green-yellow coated man swung the whip at Jester, who ducked under it just in time. She clung to the roof of the truck, trying not to fall off, while simultaneously trying not to be cut in 2 by the whip. Her attacker reeled back for another swing, this time coming from above her. She rolled to the side, the whip just narrowly missing her, but rolled too much and nearly fell off the side of the truck. She held on as tightly as she could, but her grip was slipping more and more. The man with the whip walked over to her and knelt down. Meanwhile, inside the truck's cabin, the rest of the group, save for Jackrabbit, was figuring out how to get these people off the truck and save Jester. Ragdoll and King were searching around for any firearms or weapons that they could use, only to find a laser cannon, which they silently agreed wasn't the best idea to use. Suddenly, a voice came over the truck's communication system.
Hi guys, how's it going over there?
Vera spoke to them. Ribbons grabbed the walkie-talkie to respond, but Jaxrabbit snatched it out of her hand.
Oh, it's going great. No problems from us here.
Suddenly, the truck lurched again, knocking Jaxrabbit off his feet. Ragdoll grabbed the walkie from him.
We ran into a small hiccup. We're not sure who they are, but they all seem to be wearing TADC visors, and Jester is on the roof with them.
Vera responded with a giggle.
Oh dear, how did that happen?
What did you put us up to?
Oh, nothing really. The CEO of CNA just offered me a large sum of money for information about your little resistance group. So I told him. Have fun, you guys.
The radio went dead. The cabin was silent and nobody knew what to say next. They had been set up. Jaxrabbit pushed past Ragdoll and King and grabbed the laser cannon. Despite their protest, he threw open the door to the outside and fired up the cannon. He took aim at the man with the whip and pulled the trigger. A large red laser flew out of the cannon and hit the man directly in the face and sent him flying backwards, away from Jester, who was still trying to hold on. Jaxrabbit relaxed the cannon when one of the other civilians snatched it from him, while a second restrained him. He struggled against his captor, but couldn't break loose. The man who grabbed the laser cannon fired it up again and pointed it down into the truck's cabin. Ragdoll and King were still scrambling to find any other weapons they could use, but couldn't find anything that would be useful. The sound of the laser cannon grew louder as the man prepared to fire it. Everyone inside the truck hung their heads in defeat and accepted their fate. They waited for the bright light to fill the cabin, but it never came. Just as he was about to pull the trigger, a whip slashed across the man's face, sending him staggering backwards, knocking the cannon away from the truck's interior. As a reflex, he pulled the trigger, but instead, the laser fired towards Jaxrabbit and the man restraining him. Thinking quickly, Jaxrabbit kicked the man in the knees, causing him to let go and dove for cover. The laser hit the man and sent him flying off the truck. Jaxrabbit walked over to the man holding the laser cannon, grabbed him, and tossed him off the truck's roof. Ignoring Jester's screams for help, he climbed back down into the truck and shut the door once more. Jester couldn't hold on any longer. Her fingers slipped and she let go of the truck, just as a hand grabbed her and hoisted her back onto the roof. Jester took a minute to catch her breath. She looked up, half expecting Jaxrabbit to actually have answered her screams. Instead, she was looking at the man in the green and yellow coat. The surface of his TADC visor shattered to reveal a single green eye.
You want to what?
You heard me. We're not getting that information, so we're going to create our own method of infiltration. Ribbons, floor it. Hesitantly, Ribbons stepped on the gas pedal and turned the wheel, making a beeline towards the CNA headquarters. On the top of the truck, Jester and the man with a broken mask stumbled at the sudden change in direction. The two regained their footing before the man turned to look at Jester.
What's going on?
Since he helped Jester back onto the truck, he'd been surveying the people on the street that were flying by. Jester admitted she didn't know everything that was going on, but filled him in on everything that Ragdoll had told her about. CNA, the TADC visors, and the mission to deliver supplies they were currently on, though she didn't know why they had suddenly changed directions. After she finished, the man tore off his mask and threw it off the truck. He apologized for attacking her, even though he didn't actually remember doing it. She accepted the apology before asking him his name. The man thought for a moment before saying,
"You can call me Gummy."
Ragdoll popped up from the truck's cabin. She informed Jester on the current situation, filling her in on Vera's selling them out and Jaxrabbit's new plan before noticing the man. She screamed, but Jester told her it was okay, that the mask breaking made his hostility disappear. Ragdoll took her word for it before telling them to get inside before things got messy. After only about a minute, the group was nearing CNA headquarters, but they didn't plan on stopping. Ribbons pressed her foot down, putting pedal to the metal, as the truck's speed became faster and faster. The guards standing outside the front entrance of the building stood their ground to stop the intruders. However, once they realized the truck wasn't going to slow down until it made contact with something solid, they dove out of the way of the vehicle. The truck plowed through the front of the building like it was nothing, barreling through the lobby of the building before coming to a full stop once it reached the back wall. One by one, they all slowly stumbled out of the truck. except for Jacksrabbit, who burst out of the truck full of excitement and energy. They took a few moments to regain their bearings before heading to the top floor. Jacksrabbit took the time to look over the bodies from the aftermath and picked up a shotgun that was lying next to one of them. Gummy and Jester also took a step away from the wreckage. Jester asked Gummy how he was holding up. Gummy stared at the chaos for a second before speaking.
It's weird. I always thought I was living, and the visor just made life more convenient. But now that it's gone, I see the world how it's meant to be seen.
The two came across another body. Gummy knelt down and picked up the hat that was lying next to it, and put it on.
These last 5 minutes have shown me there's a difference between just being alive and actually living life.
The elevator dinged, and several people piled out of it and walked toward the head office of CNA. Jacksrabbit kicked open the door as a figure sat at a desk with their back towards them.
It's over, Kane. It's time to give up control of Circuit City.
Oh, Michael, you couldn't be more wrong.
You all don't stand a chance against me! The figure turned to reveal eyes and a mouth floating in a tank perched on top of a human body. Kane bolted out of his seat and ejected a cane from a slot in his arm that he caught with his other hand, pointing it at the group of resistance fighters.
And it seems you picked up an extra member. Now that just won't do.
Kane's cane began to glow and hum. Suddenly, a laser was fired from the tip of the cane. Everyone hit the floor to dodge it, except for Gummy. The laser pierced right through his chest, and he collapsed onto the ground. For Jester, everything was happening in slow motion. Kane took the opportunity to make an escape, while the rest of the group was getting up to chase him. She, meanwhile, was immediately at Gummy's side, holding his head in her lap. But it was too late. Gummy was gone. The group had left her to pursue Kane. She was alone. Again.
My only regret with doing this video is that none of these are original characters. All the designs and concepts turned out so much better than I was expecting, and now I just want to use them for my own original characters. So I might rehash bits and pieces here and there, because this is probably my favorite video on the history of the channel so far. Art and story-wise, it was just so much fun to write, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you did, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. That's all I've got for you today, but don't worry, there's more Digital Circus content coming your way. Don't forget to check out Dempsey J Illustrations, Night of Arcane, and Nerd Comics Inc.'s videos, linked all around me, as they all posted amazing Digital Circus videos today as well. My name is KyngPin Creations, and I will see you all next week for Voice Actor Fusion's Commenters Edition. Take care, everyone.